I've got Knipex for some budget-friendly options. Knipex has pretty much set the standard for pliers wrenches in particular, but are they really better enough to justify the higher price? Let's find out. When it comes to tools that I like to use, I definitely want good quality tools, but I also factor in value as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today when it comes to these pliers. Knipex is a brand that everyone talks about, everyone loves it, and a lot of other brands have kind of copied their design as far as the pliers wrench goes. And that just goes to show you how good they really are. But these tools can get a little bit pricey. So I got a couple of my favorite budget-friendly pliers wrenches that I want to talk about today and kind of compare them head-to-head with these Knipex pliers wrenches. Here we've got the WorkPro pliers wrench, and I also have the Toolant pliers wrench. These are all the 7-inch pliers wrench, and when you look at these next to each other, these all look really similar. Like, they are so close. And you know, there are some details that are a little bit different when it comes to the Knipex. But before I break these down, let's talk about price. So the 7-inch Knipex pliers wrench comes in at $53.20 on Amazon. I didn't check the Knipex website. I probably should have done that, but you can get these on Amazon, and the link below is going to be the link where I got this on Amazon. And right now, I know the prices can fluctuate on there, but right now it is $53.20 for this one. The WorkPro 7-inch pliers wrench is coming in at $19.99 on Amazon. And the Toolant 7-inch pliers wrench is coming in at a couple of different prices for these. The black version, like the one you see here, is $14.99 right now. I think it says the price is usually $19.99, but at the moment it's on sale, I guess. $14.99. That's a pretty good deal. One thing I will say is I got these maybe a year ago, 6 months to a year ago, and I wasn't able to find it. I don't think they make them with the blue handles anymore. I was just seeing black handles now. But they also make a kind of chrome finish, and those are usually $22.99, but right now they're on sale for $19.99. So yeah, and I'll get into which one of these I like better in particular. But yeah, they're quite a bit lower than the Knipex by more than half, really. So that's a pretty big difference. I feel like in order to justify a price jump like that, these should be a lot better. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that these cheaper options are secretly better tools or something like that, because I really don't think they are. The machining is better on the Knipex. Everything feels tighter. There's definitely less play. But what I want to look at today is how much does that difference really matter when you're actually using the tool? And when you're out working on something and you're beating on your tools, they're getting dirty, they're getting scratched up, do you really want to have to babysit your expensive tool and worry about, oh, did I drop it too hard or did I scratch it? I know that might not be a concern for some people, but I feel like if I spent more money than I really could afford, little things like that would bother me. But with tools that are only 20 bucks, if they get the job done, that's what matters most to me. So now let's look at these side by side. We've got the WorkPro and the Knipex. First of all, the WorkPro grip is a little bit slicker than the Knipex. The Knipex has this kind of grainy feel to it almost. It definitely has more of a grip texture. These, they're nice and rubbery, and you definitely get a good grip on them for sure, but they are a little bit more slick. one thing that stands out right off the bat is the markings here on the Knipex. It shows you, you know, right there, that should be 13 millimeters. And then that goes to 19 millimeters. But with the WorkPro, it doesn't have those markings on here. And the Knipex has metric on this side and SAE on the back side here. But what I was talking about earlier is the play. You see that? That's pretty wobbly there. But on the Knipex, you just don't really get much play at all in the joints like that. It's just it's much tighter, like up in here. In comparison, you can just see the difference in quality there. But I mean, just because it wobbles doesn't mean that's gonna make it not work. One thing I will say is that because there is a little bit more looseness on this one, it makes it easier to push the button and make it go up and down. Like with the Knipex, when you push it, you have to kind of get the handle in the right spot, because it doesn't just move so easily. I mean, it's not hard to move it by any means. It takes a little bit more force than the WorkPro. Kind of just easily slides once you push the button in. But now let's look at the Toolant here. The grip on the Toolant is much closer to the grip on the Knipex. I don't know if y'all can really see the texture on there. Can y'all see the texture on that? I think it's showing up a little bit on screen, whereas the texture on the WorkPro it's much more slick. Get some oil on there, it's gonna slip right out of your hand if you don't have a good enough grip. But one thing that I really like about the Toolant is that they do have the measurements marked in there. Now for the Toolant, you've got SAE on this side and metric on the back side, whereas it's opposite on the Knipex. But I mean, that doesn't matter to me at all. You are still gonna have that play. When you compare these two, it's almost as if these were made in the same factory. They look basically identical. I mean, there really isn't too much difference between these two other than the grip itself and then the branding. The button is a little different. The WorkPro has a little bit more detail on their button. The Toolant just says push. And there's just a slight difference in like the little screws that are in here, and then just the little measurements being on the Toolant and not on the WorkPro. Those are really the main differences between those. And right now, the Toolant is even cheaper than the WorkPro at the moment. I think usually the Toolant might be a little bit more. But yeah, between these two, I think I like Toolant just a little bit better. But I do like the WorkPro brand a lot. And one thing that I like about Toolant is that they offer a carrying case with theirs. No matter which size you get, they all come with a carrying case. And if you get the 7-inch or the 10-inch, they come with these soft jaws. So on here it says top. So you just slide it on. And then that one says bottom. And now you've got soft jaws if you don't want to mar up whatever it is you're working on. I think that's a pretty cool feature that has. The WorkPro does not come with that option, so there's another reason why I like these so much. The Toolant 10-inch pliers wrench comes in at $23.99 for the black, and the chrome right now is $26.99. So I think usually the chrome is just a little bit more than the black. And like I was saying, the newer ones only have the black grip. I haven't been able to find any with the blue grip. Now, I might be wrong. Let me know if y'all found any with the blue grips. I don't really know if it matters that much to you. I don't really care that much. But let's talk about the 5-inch ones now. I got the 5-inch Toolant. Now, see, this is what the chrome looks like, and this is the black handles that I was talking about, the black grips. Same texture and everything, just black. And there's now, it says chrome, but I mean, it's not like polished chrome. So these would be in comparison to the Knipex 5-inch pliers wrench here. Pretty big difference between the way these look. You know, the jaws don't have the same little detailing there. On the Knipex, it doesn't have the little measurements on here, but the Toolant does have the measurements. Now they're kind of in a different spot, so they don't really line up. The bigger ones have them written out on the outside here, so it lines up with that little hole, like that. So I don't know if that really even serves a purpose, being kind of covered up like that. But I mean, I don't know if that's really all that useful anyway. But yeah, and also the 5-inch Toolant did not come with the soft jaws. It just came with the carrying case. When you're looking at the play in these, it's not as bad as the play in the bigger ones. So the price for the 5-inch Knipex is going to be $53.46 on Amazon right now. And the 5-inch Toolants is $19.99 for the silver and $17.99 for the black version. So yeah, that's a huge difference in price there on these. Unfortunately, I only have the little 4-inch options for the WorkPro. They make these in a bunch of different styles and colors. I actually did a video recently on these. I'll link it here and down below if y'all are interested in checking that one out. Did a little review on those. But yeah, Knipex also makes the smaller versions of these too. And I can't remember what the price was for the 4-inch Knipex pliers wrench, but the WorkPro pliers wrench in the 4-inch option is like $19.99. And then for the little water pump pliers, WorkPro is selling these 4-inch ones at $16.19 right now, and I'm pretty sure that goes for all the different color choices you have for these. At least most of them right now anyway on Amazon. Links for everything in the description below, by the way. I do know that the 4-inch Cobra Knipex version, like this one, it looks kind of more like this. This is their Cobra. Their 4-inch one is $32.72. So this is pretty much half of what Knipex sells theirs for. This is the 6-inch Knipex Cobra, and it is $35.24 on Amazon right now. It works pretty much the same way as the pliers wrench. I really love these a lot. I don't have the WorkPro version of these. I think they have like a 7-inch one. I don't have one of those, but I do have their 10-inch one. And I've used these so many times. It's got that same grip as the pliers wrench, kind of smooth here, but there's a little bit of play in the joints. But I've used these so many times in the last year and a half. the play in the joints or whatever, none of that has bothered me at all. So the Knipex version of this at 10 inches costs $39.48, whereas this one is $20.99, the WorkPro, $20.99. So that's just about half the price. And I gotta say, for half the price, unless you're like banging these around, you're using them every single day and you're really rough on them, maybe at that point, spending a little extra money is gonna be worth it to you in the long run to go ahead and get the Knipex. But if you're a DIY guy or a professional that just wants to save a little bit of money, I think any of these WorkPro tools or Toolant is gonna be a great option for you. You know, you might not need to spend Knipex money to get a tool that's gonna do exactly what you need it to do. What makes these measurements come in handy is when you know the bolt size that you're using, the bolt or nut or whatever, when you know that size, it could be useful. So this is 13 millimeters. So I think if we set it here, that should be a good size for it. These are so much better than regular adjustable wrenches where you have to take it completely off the nut or bolt, move it, and then put it back on. These just kind of turn, go in. All right. And so with the WorkPro, you're not going to have the measurements you can look at, but you know, you can kind of eyeball it. So you don't really need, it's like not super necessary to have those measurements written out on the tool. I mean, really, I don't have a problem using these at all. It felt exactly the same as the Knipex. There wasn't any difference really in the way that felt. Okay, let's loosen this up a little. All right. Yeah, no difference at all in that. They're so similar. Let's do these little guys now. Yeah. Perfect. And the Toolant here. Yeah. So, I mean, there was really no difference at all in the way any of those felt. If I had my eyes closed while I was doing that, I don't think I could tell you which one was which, unless I picked it up and shook it to hear how much play is in it. Well, especially when you're comparing these two because the grips feel very similar. The WorkPro's grip is a little different, but I really don't think there's a big difference between these when the tool is in use. Obviously, looking at it up close, looking at all the details, there are definitely going to be differences. But yeah, putting the tools to use, these cheaper tools are definitely going to do the job. But yeah, what do y'all think? Do you have any of these tools here? Have you tried WorkPro or Toolant? Do you prefer Knipex over any of these? Do you work with these tools professionally, or are you a DIY guy? I think the whole budget tool discussion is a pretty hot topic most of the time, so I'm really curious to know. Let's talk about it. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for watching. I got some more videos coming as always. If y'all have any video suggestions or you want to see a specific tool reviewed by me, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for hitting the like button and subscribing. It helps the channel so much, so I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch y'all next time. Stay happy, healthy, and wealthy.